Hi everybody, this is Rachel, and I'm not very good at this, but I'm going to try to show you how our Artisan Made site works if you're loading products and having your own shop there. It's different from Etsy or other places that I've used, so there is a learning curve. This is our home page as it is right now, and everything is being worked on, and nothing's the way it's going to be at the final stage of things, but as you scroll down, you can see that there are different things going on. These are our profiles, and I change them daily so that everybody gets a chance to be seeing on the home page. And this is a banner for our sponsors. If you click on it, you'll go to their site, and these are products from our market. And I really like the way that our shop products display, because when you hover over them you can see two of the images, so it's really nice to be able to take a quick look that way. These products right here, these are new ones that have been entered lately, and then these other ones are the ones that I did in October, and all of them link to your site, so you can see that uh, the there are different images on each one, and you can continue to do it that way if you want to, or you can link things to each individual item in your shop, or if you're listing things, you can use our cart on Artisan Made for your own shop here. This is the market area, and I have a few little links here, but when you go to the market landing page, there are some top categories that are featured right here, and then this is the shop categories that I set up, and each one of them, if you click on the arrow, then they lead to other categories. Now, we're not going to have categories for every single thing that's on the site, but these are the main things that I know our members have. And I've tried to set up some interesting ways of looking at things. So like, for example, under niche, you have art quilts, ceramics, fair trade, folk art, glass, tribal art, upcycled. Under elements, you have a few things like animals, birds, black, blue, boho, brown dots, floral, green, modern, nature, orange, and these are categories that you can pick when you're listing something so that they'll show up here. And your featured image, your main image, should match wherever you're putting these things in. So don't put something that is going to look red into a green category, even though you might have green pictures on the inside. The the featured image should reflect so when people go to a blue page, everything on there should be blue. Make it, these are supplies, so I know we have beads, fabric, printing blocks, tile, and yarn. Later on, if we get more, we can do that, or if you have other supplies that are not in a category, then just put it under the top category, the make it one. Materials, they show some things that I know we have: bamboo, beeswax, clay, cotton, gemstone, and so on. Method, how something was made, if it was beaded, blown, carved, crocheted. All these things I think are kind of fun to explore what we have. And then provenance is where the item comes from, not where you live, but where it was made. So if you live in the United States and you're selling something from Africa, then the provenance of that item would be Africa, so that everything, when you go to that page, would look African. This is the shops page, which is horrible. This is the default uh, setting that the plugin that we're using has, and it's just ugly as can be. I have a designer working on it, and eventually I hope it will be a lot more beautiful, and I'd like it to be something like this, where you see the shop logo, and then you see the several recent items, and then how many items they have in their shop. but it could be very expensive to do this. He's trying to figure it out, and hopefully it'll uh, be much better soon, even if it's not like that, something different than this. But when you click on the uh, links for the shops, then you'll have a shop page. And this is also a glitch right now that needs to be fixed, these banners on top of each other like that. This is the shop page for Afghan Tribal Arts. And so when you scroll down, you'll see items that are from Afghan Tribal Arts. And when you click on one of the items, you will see featured items that are at the bottom of the listing, and those also have to do with that shop. So we're just promoting other things that you have in your shop through these other, you might also like. Now I'll show you the back end where you would be working on your shop. When you log in, you can use this one, and there'll be a login button here, and your login is most likely your business name, and try it either all one word or separate words. And there's a request password thing that you can do if you need a new password. If you get stuck with it, just let me know and I'll help you get in. When you log in, then you'll see this page, and we're going to go to my Ryla Art shop that I'm trying to work on. You click on Dashboard, Manage Your Account here. And this is the view of the dashboard area. Most of you are going to be linking to your shops elsewhere, either on Etsy or on other sites, your own sites. And so these sales and earnings and all the data that would be useful for somebody that's selling through our site isn't going to mean very much to you. But for those of you who are selling through the site, you'll be able to see some different statistics back here. Store settings is where you control what shows up on your shop area, the banner and the logo. You set up your policies, what you're shipping, your billing address, shipping policies, and all of these things that you set up on the back end here are general settings that will show up on each product, but then you can override those on the product itself. Now, I've imported my Etsy listings to my Ryla Art shop, and they are showing up here in the product manager as pending items. So they're in draft form. And you can see them here, and you can click on edit to edit them. And once they are edited, then you submit it to go live, and it'll show up in your shop. This is what the edited view of the item looks like. So the title, and you can assign SKU numbers if you want to. This product URL is the listing on Etsy. So it's going to, when the people click on the shop button, it will take them over to the listing that I have on Etsy. And I've chosen to say shop on Etsy. And there's the price. You can run sales if you want to, and set them up from what date to what date, and then show the visibility of where these things should show, and you want them to be in the catalog and search once it's live. So here's a short description. Etsy does not have this field, so you have to make it up. And when it pulls the information in from the CSV files, it just does one big block of text. So you have to change this and make it look nice, and create paragraphs. So here I want to put the diameter down here, and I want another paragraph there, and I want to take this stuff out that I have this is old information that I don't want anymore. I already created a different paragraph that I want to end my listing with for the items that I already have on in the shop, and this is the paragraph that I want also on that new item that I'm editing. This listing refers you to my shop on Etsy, and that's a live link. I've been there for a long time and sold on eBay for 9 years before that. You want to tell people what's happening when they click on that button. I will be adding new listings to my shop here on Artizan Made. I also manage shops for Afghan tribal arts and Washiwa designs. Purchases between the 3 shops can be shipped together. I've got a typo there I have to change. I will send an invoice for shipping separately if it involves items that don't fit into our flat rate envelope. Keep up with news about my shop on Facebook. You are very welcome to promote yourself on these listings, and you never know how somebody lands on a site, if they're going to see a product or your shop page or your profile or whatever. And on any of those pages, you want to be able to have information that's going to take people where you want them to go, whether it's your site, your shop on Etsy, where they can follow you on social media links. This can be as long as you want it to be. Google likes to see at least 300 words in on a page, and your first paragraph should tell people exactly what it is, and that those 2 paragraphs are also, 2 sentences are also what show up on the listing if it gets seen on a search engine. Well, I want this to be on the other listing that I'm working on, so I'm going to copy it instead of typing it over and over again, and take it over here, put it here, and now I have that here as well. So you can have the same information over and over and over again, but it's important to make each listing different in the first paragraph. Otherwise, Google sees that as spam and will not give you a good place on their search engines. And I might, I want to have that description in the short version too, and I could make a sentence here. I'm just going to paste this right here for now so that that short description is also there. These are where you put your featured images and the gallery images. This first one is your featured image that shows up on the item, on the product item. The second one, when you hover over that image, you'll see the second one. And you can have up to 10 images for your product description. So for example, if you are referring to a section on your website and you want to show people what kinds of mugs you sell, for example, you could have 10 different mugs that they can look at, and you can say, come on over to my mug section and see what's in stock right now. So you can use these images in a creative way to show people what you have, but just be very clear in the text so that when somebody lands on your page, they know exactly what's happening. The category and tags are right here, and these are the ones that we looked at just a little bit ago on the front end. You want to have your things in all products, and then the next ones, you'll go through those categories that I showed you earlier. Elements, this is a home and office. Make it, so we know we have crochet hooks, fabric, printing blocks, tile, yarn, beads, materials. You have to go through this whole list and do one by one, and that's the most time-consuming part of what you do here. But if you do this carefully, then it will ensure that your product shows up in a lot of places on the site in the market area too. Shipping, if it's different from what you set up in your original listing, then you can change it here. I'm not really sure how to do that. it's not doing anything, so I'm not sure how this works. Sorry. And attributes, that's if you have like a t-shirt that is black, brown. Most of you do not need to worry about this. It's if you have the same thing in different colors or different sizes, then you would either put it in draft or submit it, and once you submit it, it goes live to the site. One thing that was rather strange about how this is set up, and it took those of us who are working on our shops a little bit to figure out, you don't see a full list of your items in that dashboard area. Once the items go live, the only place you can see it is on your shop. So this is my Ryla Art shop again. And if you want to edit or delete an item, you have to go to your shop and then you click on either this button, so only you will see this only for your items, or the garbage can to delete it, which I think they really should have a list on the back end, because if you have a big shop, it could end up being several pages of scrolling through to find something that you want. Not very efficient, but it's what we have right now. Now I'm going to show you how the CSV files work for those of you who are doing that. You go to your shop, shop settings, options, click on that, and up here you will see these options, and you want to download data, download CSV. When the download is done, you end up with an Excel file that shows you basically this. Etsy gives you the title, the description, the price, the currency in which it's being sold, quantity, the tags, the materials that you entered, and then your 4 images or 5 images, and any variations. There are no variations in the file that I just downloaded. I downloaded Oshiwa's textile stamps. I'm not going to create a separate shop for them. I'm going to list a few of their things under Ryla Art that will link to their shop. If you've never used Excel before, maybe find a tutorial to show you how to use it. But you can do lots of different things with this. And the first thing I would do would be to make this bigger so that I can see what's going on here, what things are. So now I can kind of see the title the full way. And then I want to add a new column for the link that I want people to click on so that they can go and see my shop. So you hover over the column, and then you right click if you're using a PC, insert, and here's a new column, and this is where you're going to put your URL. You need to put a title in this column or else it won't work. And I'm going to call it Etsy URL, but you can call it anything you want to. I can also sort this list by different things, and one way that I found made it easier is to do it by price and then sort your shop by price too, and then you'll see those things close to each other. But you can also sort by title. Let's just take a look here. This is the sort button right here, and when you click on that, then this opens up and you can pick different things. So I want to sort it by title. Now when I did that, I've got these big spaces here, and I need to put the format back into, it's called wrapping. It's showing all the content, and I don't need to see all the content. You just right click, format cells, and you want to make sure that this is not checked, the wrap text. Okay, and it puts everything back into those lines again. As you can see now, everything is in alphabetical order, which makes it a lot easier to find what they are. These products, there are 94 products in this shop. Sorry, there were 93 items in that shop. The first one was the title, so we don't count that one. And you can see that there are 93 items in the shop here too. And you can also sort your shop here by the highest price or the most recent. And doing it by the highest price, since you can't sort it alphabetically on Etsy, doing it by the price made it easier to match things up with the Excel file. Highlight the whole thing, sort by price. And the reason I want to do this is that if I'm only allowed 50 items on Artizan, I've got to get rid of 43 items here. So you need to be able to find which ones you want to keep and which ones you want to delete. If you're really familiar with what you have, then you could do it by the title very easily, but sometimes you might want to check and make sure that you're deleting the right thing. I don't want all these little low-end price things, so to delete them, you highlight the field, right-click on it, delete, and it's gone. Or you can highlight several of them, right-click, delete. And that's how you go through your list and just delete what you don't want. Instead of linking one by one, I'm going to link to these sections that I have on Etsy. So I'm going to find some things that are animals, peoples, and birds that will link to this area, so when people come they can see what Oshiwa has in stock. Once you have that CSV file finished, you send it to me, I upload it, and it shows up on the shop, in your shop dashboard area, and then you'll have a shop enabled for you too. Then once we have lots of things listed, I can start promoting by these different categories that we've set up. We could do a feature on blue, blue items that are shown in the blue elements, and I could set up Facebook promotions and create photo galleries and all kinds of things. This will just make it so much easier to find things to talk about and to promote if we have all these different things filled out in a good way. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not very good at doing this, and I don't want it to be too long, but I hope that this helps you get an idea of where we're going with this. Everybody will get one free item on the market area. I already did most of you in October, and new members that are joining that are setting up their own shops, or I should say, if people don't want to have a shop over here, they can have one free item. If you want to be a part of the market, then the market needs to be able to pay for itself, because it's been very expensive to do this, and it's going to cost a lot to host it and pay for technical assistance and all kinds of things. So it is $25 a year for 50 listings, and you can take out as many listings as you want. So if you have 200 things in your shop on Etsy or on your own site, and you want to do one by one links with those things, then you can take out four of the $25 bundles. To find them, Artisan Made has its own category right here. And this is where you purchase your artisan made market fees. And it's a renewal once a year through PayPal. It was the best way that I could figure out how to keep some kind of control over this. And then the membership thing is here too, and anything else that we do down the road will show up here. So don't use artisan made as one of your categories. Okay? That's it. I hope that we can move along and make this happen. I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous when it's done. And thanks for being a part of Artisan Made.